Okay, hopefully that's better. Hello everybody, I am Krex, I am your host here at v3.1.3, and I will be streaming yet another league with this stable version of my lantern-controlled deck list. In fact, maybe I'll just go ahead and change this to stable real quick. Probably going to change that a bunch of different times. I have finally fixed some of my microphone issues, I hope. Please let me know in chat or in the comments if you're watching the VOD or video of this, if my microphone is sounding any better. So, anyway, we are still playing version 3.1.3. Notable cards in this list are Cling to Dust as a one-of, Witherbloom Command as a one-of, no Underworld Cookbook to be seen. In the sideboard, we've got a Singleton Assassin's Trophy, as well as 4 Blood Chief's Thirst and 2 Flame Tendrils for those aggressive matchups. I'm going to finish getting my MTGO client set up. I will be back soon. Fantastic. We have started our league. This is versus Rinkinet. Hello, Rinkinet. I'm not sure I would like to play this hand against you. This hand has a Stirrings, which can find a Saga or a Lock Piece. It has a Profane Tutor that can find a Bridge, but unless Pithing Needle's really, really good against them, I'm just not sure I can keep this. I don't know what my opponent is playing. Against my better judgment, I think I will keep this. If I'm facing anything that has the One Ring in it, Pithing Needle's going to be good. I don't know. I'm nervous about going to a 6 that's going to be weaker. Like, at least this has Pithing Needle in it. And Grafdigger's Cage. If those are even relevant in the matchup, we'll find out. It's probably not relevant. Unless they're playing Reanimator. Ah, there's an Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, all of my fears have now been assuaged? Is that the word? And they just F6'd, huh? That's an Undercity Sewers. Surveilling counterspell to the graveyard. Probably blue-black. Dimir Frogtide. Probably Dimir Frogtide. Well, I don't need to play into this obvious counterspell. Let's just suspend a Profane Tutor. And that completely killed their turn 2 play. Maybe not completely killed. And yeah, there's no way on earth that we're playing against Reanimator here. Oh, they're still on 2. Are you going to play your land second main? You can play a land second main. Ooh, yeah. Yes, please do cast that Soporific Springs, or whatever. That is a Codex Shredder. Let's go ahead and fire off an Ancient Stirrings here. Now, I could just try and jam bridge. I think I'm gonna try that. Kinda wanna throw out a Pithing Needle. There's no Dazes in this format. And then that Profane Tutor can just grab in Thoughtseize or something? Obvious choice here is Psychic Frog, and I'm going to just stick with the safe, obvious choice. I don't need to do anything else. Let's go ahead and grab a Swamp, play a Codex Shredder. Yes, the jig is up. You know what I'm playing now. Unless my opponent just doesn't know about modern history and thinks that I'm on some sort of wacky brew. No second Orcish Bowmasters, and I just made my opponent waste their entire third turn. They do still, however, have 5 cards in hand. And since they are playing blue-black, I don't even think I'm going to bother with a lock right now. I think I'm just going to try and force these bridges through. Although, I could grab an Urza Saga with this Profane Tutor. That would kind of sidestep a lot of problems. Although, if they're holding a bunch of creature removal, then I'm going to regret that. And it's still game 1. They could have a Murktide in hand. I'll grab the Thoughtseize. Oh, well. Let's play around Mana Leak. Anyone remember that card? Mana Leak? Counterspell, Abhorrent Oculus, which one of my favorite content creators calls this the Ballsack, Murktide Regent, and Spell Snare. I think I take the counterspell here, right? Oh, that's not good. Right, I forgot I haven't upgraded to this yet. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Give me a second. I need to do a couple of things. There we go. And yes, that drew out the obvious counterspell. So I took a counterspell from my opponent's hand. I baited a counterspell here. Now my opponent is likely going to jam their Murktide Regent that I left in hand on purpose. The fourth land so that they can actually hold up counterspell here while also playing Murktide Regent, which is kind of scary. Yeah, I do not like this. Oh, my opponent has made a grave mistake. No, wait, I took another counterspell from their hand. I can just slam this Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm gonna save this Inquisition, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna save the Inquisition. What do I put this second Pithing Needle on? My opponent could be on a random Otawara Soaring City. Do I even need to play the Pithing Needle right now? I don't think I need to play the Pithing Needle right now. I think I should play the Pithing Needle. I'm just not sure what to name. Got Psychic Frog named. I guess I'll name a fetch land. This deck just has so, you know, just in case they're on a build that has the One Ring in it, I'll name the One Ring. I know it's probably incorrect, but eh. All right, now my opponent gets one draw here. They're gonna swing in with their 2 orcs. Yeah, I kind of forgot that I took a counterspell out of my opponent's hand, so they didn't have the opportunity to draw another counterspell, so they may as well have not have left in additional fodder here. My opponent is going to possibly cast an Abhorrent Oculus here, which this Grafdigger's Cage actually shuts off, notably. And I don't need to cast this Assassin's Trophy. I can just create a construct here, try to block. Lantern... Unearth, huh? I think I want to... I have a Mycosynth Gardens coming next turn. If I mill my opponent here... That's a Psychic Frog. Okay, so I don't need... They don't need to... I'm gonna take the Abhorrent Oculus. I don't really care about them playing that. But, I also don't really care about this Assassin's Trophy resolving. And if it wasn't obvious, then, you know, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm just now paying attention to chat again. I'm a very irresponsible streamer. B-Rax, thank you for tuning in. I'm not exactly sure where you say it was risky to play around Spell Pierce. The unknown card in my opponent's hand was an Abhorrent Oculus. I just wasn't able to show that because I haven't updated the code that I used to show my opponent's hand yet. I really don't want them drawing that Consider. Psychic Frog is down. And let's go ahead and attempt to kill this Psychic Frog now. Probably should have cast this on an Orc Army token or something just to... Yeah, alright, that's fine. Alright. Let's go ahead and have my opponent mill. I don't necessarily... Oh, really? You've got to be kidding me. That's unfortunate. This Sink into Stupor would be lethal. This is a card that I cannot beat. It's a completely unbeatable Magic card. I just can't do anything at all about it. Alright. That's another ensnaring bridge. Love to see it. You may have a Force of Negation, that's fine. I will go ahead and draw this ensnaring bridge just to trade with the Force of Negation in their hand. Ooh, that's a Cling to Dust. Oh, they just let it resolve. Yo. I am gonna draw this Cling to Dust. Let's go ahead and fetch. Down to 7. I will exile Consider from their graveyard. I will take a damage. That's fine. I'll go ahead and take their Force of Negation out of their hand. And we still have a pretty weak lock. Them kind of top decking that Sulphurous Springs or Soporific Springs was kind of annoying. So I think I am going to dig myself into more lock pieces here. But my opponent's hand is irrelevant. That's an Urza Saga. We take those. Alright, let's go ahead and cast this. I'm going to kill the Orcish Bowmasters. Sure. Gonna create a token, and I'm gonna F6. These tokens are probably not going to become really relevant. That could be relevant. Let's try and mill myself into another mill rock here. That's a lantern, I'll take it. Alright, grab a Pixis of Pandemonium here. Can't remember if my lantern's going to resolve or not. Oh well. Okay, and now we really need our opponent to just fade this draw here so that I can draw this Codex Shredder. And it looks like they are not going to just take this line down. They know what's going on. I will mill that Thought Scour. Yeah, you can draw a Murktide Regent, that's fine. I don't think I want you drawing that Unearth, though. It's just an instant speed cycling tool. Like, the Grafdigger's Cage just shuts it off completely. And I'm just going to auto-yield to all of this. Yes, your 12/12 Murktide Regent is very scary. I do want this Codex Shredder, so let's go ahead and draw that. Does it resolve? I can't remember. Doesn't really matter much. I don't want them drawing that Consider either. Let's go ahead and save targets with this. Wow, they're fetching to save the Consider in their deck. Yeah, that's fine. I don't even care about this Harbinger of the Seas. Like, I'm not actually going to take it. I want that Profane Tutor. I do need to worry about killing my opponent right now, though. I'll let them draw the Harbinger. Let's go ahead and exile. You mill one. You mill one. Do I really care about that? Classic name, you are already dead. That's actually not a classic name. We had to come up with some clever stuff to name with Pithing Needle when we didn't have any relevant choices later. Back in the early days. Named all sorts of random things. Pretty sure one of my friends liked to name, like, Morrow. Just for fun. I think that there's a, like a rabbit or something that they like naming too. Yeah, you can't have a Consider, you can't have an Unearth. You can have a Scalding Tarn. Alright, let's grab another Pixis. It's a shame these 15/15 constructs can't attack. Just not really sure what my opponent could do here. I've already got my F0 equity in. Just need to take their last 20 cards now. They're gonna have about 4 draws left. Oh, my camera has stopped. Huh. Alright, so I'm sorry, I just don't know what's going on with my camera right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, and we're back. Notably... Oops. So I did actually look this up, and, yes, I can't have you draw that. Abhorrent Oculus. Oops. Did I just punt this? No, just barely not. Okay. Yeah, I can't have you draw that. Wow. I need to be paying a little bit more attention than this. Maybe not fixing my camera issues. But, hey, 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘. Hi, Patrick. I just had a little bit of a camera issue, tried fixing it, didn't pay attention to what I was drawing, and I drew this uncastable Ancient Stirrings. And now my opponent has a very real shot at trying to win the game. They can successfully deal 1 damage to me here. So this Mishra's Bauble on board is now just an instant lose button. Fortunately, I made these constructs a while ago. And also, double fortunately, I have a forest on top of my deck. Oh, I've got a needle naming Psychic Frog. I'm gonna throw one here, throw one here, throw one here. Don't really want you drawing a card. But I cannot, I repeat, cannot use Pixis. I must draw this forest. Wow, that was kind of scary. Let's go ahead and grab a Shredder. Any order, play the Shredder. Yeah, Flood Moon kind of being a bit scary here. Alright, Psychic Frog is fine. Okay, and my opponent doesn't get another draw. Which is kind of good because I spent a lot of clock on this game. I need to clean up my act for next game. So my opponent plays, what, 2 Sink into Stupors, I believe? They play the Abhorrent Oculus, which means that I'm probably actually going to keep in the Grafdigger's Cage against them, because Grafdigger's Cage does stop the Abhorrent Oculus from triggering. So give me just a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and look over my game plan for this particular deck. It involves siding out a Grafdigger's Cage, which in normal situations I would probably do. But I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to instead side out 2 Pithing Needles. Going to side out the Cling to Dust, actually. I'm going to side out the Collective Brutality and the Witherbloom command. And I'm going to bring in 4 Bloodchief's Thirst. Ideally, I would want more than 2 Duress. I'd probably want 3 Duress. I'm just not sure what else to cut. I could cut a Mishra's Bauble for the 3rd Duress. That seems like a pretty straightforward sideboard strategy. Specifically for this build that has Abhorrent Oculus in it, I want to keep in the Grafdigger's Cage. If this build did not have Abhorrent Oculus in it, then I would probably swap out the Cage and the Bauble. But, you know, this is fine. 4 Bloodchief's Thirst, 3 Duress, bringing my total discard up to 11. Literally up to 11. Alright, let's go ahead and mark that as a win. But yeah, I'm a bit behind on clock here. Only a little bit behind, notably. My opponent's not doing too terribly hot themselves. I did mess with that. Thank you for letting me know. Let me know how that goes. Thank you. This is a good hand. I'll keep this hand. This hand has the ability to tutor a bridge with a Profane Tutor. It has the ability to find the third land with the Bauble plus Pixis. It has a Duress to protect my bridge, and it has a Bloodchief's Thirst to kill their first play. This is a very good hand. Let's go ahead and play a Pixis first. Wow, just F6'd, huh? I too can F6. Thanks, N2I, I appreciate it. I did update my kind of settings for my microphone. I'm not peaking as much as I was before, am I? They milled Consider. Unfortunate. Ah, yeah, that'll do it. And my opponent's going to hold up Counterspell or Orcish Bowmasters. I don't... That's a Lantern. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Are you going to Bowmaster me? They did not Bowmaster me. Disciplined. I think I'm just going to suspend Profane Tutor here. I don't really need to play into their counterspells. Profane Tutor looking incredible in this matchup, by the way. Been to Watery Grave. So they've been to Consider and they've been to Watery Grave. What are they looking for? They binned another Polluted Delta, huh? Blood Moon? Abhorrent Oculus. Is it additional cost to cat? Oh, they were just turboing out Abhorrent Oculus. You know, that's fine. That's perfectly fine, I think. Alright, well, I'm gonna try and resolve my spells now. Wow, the third Blooming Marsh. I can always Bloodchief's Thirst on my next turn. I don't get to see what they manifested. How unfortunate. I will Duress my opponents. See if they're sandbagging a Force of Negation. They are sandbagging a Force of Negation. I just take the Force here, right? I think so. I think I'm just going to take the Force of Negation. Because that's their most efficient play. And also, it would be able to counter this Lantern right now. Ooh, that is an Urza Saga. I'm not going to be able to see the Urza Saga anyway. I'm going to take the Unearth. Alright, that's fine. You may draw a Polluted Delta. They're Thought Scouring me to draw the Polluted Delta. I accept this. Are you going to Thought Scour me again? They might be Thought Scouring me again. Yeah, you got it. Yet another Polluted Delta. Interesting. Do I allow them to draw this Abhorrent Oculus? Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Alright, unknown card is Abhorrent Oculus. Thought Scour is gone. Polluted Delta is gone. I'm going to take 7. And my opponent has a counterspell that I need to draw out. So I have a Profane Tutor coming off Suspend here. Let's see if my opponent counters this. I'm going to be taking a decent chunk of damage next turn. Here I will just grab an Ensnaring Bridge. I kind of don't want to draw this Lantern of Insight, but I don't want my opponent drawing that Unearth either. I would really love to draw a discard spell to protect my Ensnaring Bridge, just like that. Okay, so I can go down to 1 card in hand next turn. Yeah, I think this is fine. You don't have any more... you don't have any more Thought Scours in hand. I know that as much. You can just counterspell this. I don't think that's correct. Alright. Here we go. You may Flood Moon me, even though that worked out decently well for you the last game. I don't think it's going to work out so well for you this game. Yeah, Psychic Frog is fine. Played a Swamp. Played a Psychic Frog. Are you going to play your Abhorrent Oculus as well? No, they played Flood Moon. Oh, they manifested a creature. I see. Yeah, that's fine. Well, that means that they can get any creature that they want into play. I don't think I'm actually that worried about that. I'm gonna cast this on the first manifested creature, I suppose. Okay, and we have a bit of a lock established with a pretty strong caveat. I do not believe it is safe any longer to... Really surprised they're not casting their other Abhorrent Oculus here. I do not believe it is any longer safe to draw extra cards or keep any amount of cards in hand, because my opponent can just manifest whatever they want. Fortunately, the majority of my deck is colorless. And this does shut off all of their fetch lands. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Just pass through my opponent's turn. Oh well, I'll get another turn. Force of Negation, that's fine. I'm not planning on playing any more spells. At least any more spells that I expect to resolve. Yeah, Consigned Memory is fine. You can only manifest creature cards. Yeah. So they can only get creatures. They can't get all of these lovely, lovely Sink into Stupors that I am milling for them. Alright, so hand is irrelevant. Let's go ahead and not skip our turn this time. I'm going to mill my opponent still, and I'm gonna mill them again. And then on the upkeep, I'm going to mill myself, maybe? Let's let this resolve first. I will go ahead and just mill myself. I'm comfortable with my opponent drawing an Orcish Bowmasters here. Urza Saga is fine. Let's go ahead and play that and just watch it immediately go poof. Oh no! What could have possibly happened to my beautiful, amazing, valuable Urza Saga? It's just gone. What a shame. How am I going to win the game now? No idea. Go ahead and mill you. Consigned to memory. Totally unbeatable magic card. I can't win against that. It's everywhere in the format. What am I expecting to do against it? All right, let's kill a random manifested creature here. There are not really any new Duskhorn additions to the deck. We have considered Ghost Vacuum, and there may be a meta in which Ghost Vacuum specifically is relevant only, and I repeat, only, because it is repeatable, targeted exile from graveyard. It's very different from Relic of Progenitus in that way that the controller of Ghost Vacuum gets to choose what it's exiled. Besides that, no, there's not really anything exciting from Duskmourn. I'm always on the lookout for things that can be fetched by this Urza Saga that is in my graveyard. Ah, Scalding Charm. Look at that. So the reason that we play Pathways is really just to round out the deck. I have so many traumatic memories of playing with Llanowar Wastes that I do not want to go back. I just don't. You can't make me play Llanowar Wastes. I would caution against playing Urborg really, because there are certain niche situations where I do want to mana screw my opponent, and sometimes that involves color screwing them, and Urborg doesn't necessarily help with that. Urborg is also just a basic swamp. Really, it's just a basic swamp that you can't fetch. And my opponent will get one more draw. So, I haven't really found room for it, honestly. Just, I haven't found room for it. Oh, no, they don't get one more draw. They just have to die. I understand. That is correct. If, Esper Reanimator or Goryo's Reanimator becomes really, really popular, then I could see a situation in which one might want to play Ghost Vacuum, probably not instead of, but on top of Grafdigger's Cage. But for now, I just... no. No, I don't think Ghost Vacuum is a strong enough contender. If Ghost Vacuum had its second ability just be sacrifice, draw a card, I might see it. That would be a really nice addition to Ghost Vacuum, but the 6 mana ability in this deck is just flavor text. Like, we're on turn 11. I have 6 mana right now, and I could pop a Ghost Vacuum, but my opponent has 2 cards in their deck. So just kill them. Just kill them. I'm just going to tap my Codex Shredder twice, and I'm going to kill them. 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘, who, by the way, runs a one of the other premier Lantern Control channels. Very polished videos. Go and click on his little icon in the chat and watch some of his stuff if you like. But he is correct that Break the Ice is kinda sucky. I have not played against Aspiring Spike's Red-Green Delirium aggro. I haven't seen it. If I do see it, then I will play against it. But I haven't played against it yet. I'm not entirely certain I've ever come across a situation where I've wanted a Saga to tap for black and I had another land that could tap for black, but that land just not being enough. It might be relevant in some extraordinarily niche situations where literally all you have is a Saga or Gardens and an Urborg, and you need to cast, like, I don't know, like Thoughtseize and Bloodchief's Thirst on the same turn. But that situation is just so incredibly niche that I am not certain that I would rather play to that situation than just to have a land that can tap for either black or green. There have been some situations where I have wanted my black land to tap for green so that I could play an Ancient Stirrings or I could play an Assassin's Trophy. The Pathway doing that specifically has been quite nice. I have played Pathway on green before, where I've needed it to cast an Ancient Stirrings. And I'm pretty sure my opponent is salty roping right now, which gives me an opportunity to talk with y'all. I perhaps would like to encounter the Delirium aggro deck. I have played against a red-black, kind of Goblin Lore, Burning Inquiry, Hollow One, Fear of Missing Out deck. In my last stream, I did that. Unfortunately for my opponent, I have been playing this deck for 10 years. I have patience. All I have to do is wait 2 minutes and 17 seconds, and my first win will be on the board. I'm gonna grab some milk. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. I could have typed into MTGO chat something incredibly, I don't know, witty. Ah, yes, here we go. But honestly, I don't care. My opponent is not wasting my time. There are many things that you can do in 2 minutes. You can grab yourself a glass of milk. You can give your cat dinner. You can give your fiance a hug and ask her how her day was. My time was not wasted. And I don't really feel the need to interact with my opponent. I'm already interacting with them. I played Codex Shredder. All right, on to round 2. Okay, we are beginning round 2 versus Polymorph20. Hello, Polymorph20. I would like to play against you, and this is a perfectly serviceable hand. It's got Lantern, it's got Ensnaring Bridge, and it's got a couple of tutor effects in it. Let's go ahead and play. Not get fancy, just Blooming Marsh into Lantern. Are you going to force a negation this Lantern of Insight? No, you're going to play a Detective's Phoenix. I very well may grab a Collective Brutality with my Profane Tutor. There we go. Marsh Flats, eh? Well, that means you're not drawing that Thoughtseize this way. Alright, Blood Crypt. They are tapping for black, so perhaps they do have a Thoughtseize here. Well, I don't have any plays, so I'm gonna F6. Go ahead. I don't have a Force of Negation that I'm bluffing. I'm playing black-green. I'm playing Lantern of Insight. I don't have counter spells. I do have a Profane Tutor in my hand, but you don't need to know that unless you play a Thoughtseize yourself. Which you really should, because it's a fantastic card. What was that, a Swamp on top of their deck? Now they've got a Lightning Bolt. That's a Mishra's Bauble. They're probably going to draw the Bolt then. I mean, you know what's on top of my deck. It's not like only I get to see it. But perhaps they just really want to draw the Lightning Bolt. I could see that. So my turn 2 is going to begin with 6 cards in hand. I'm going to go down to 4, down to 3 off this Mishra's Bauble. Turn 3, I'm going to draw up to 4, play a land, go down to 2. Because I play Ensnaring Bridge. So my opponent did draw the Lightning Bolt, which I will gladly take over a very strong turn 1 play like a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Let me just go ahead and make sure that I've got this correct. So I'm going to go down to 3 cards in hand right now. I'm going to draw up to 4, and then I'm going to go down to 2 when I play my land and play the Ensnaring Bridge, which is going to leave Land Bridge in my hand. I will then tutor up to 3, and then draw up to 4. I'll have at least 1 land in there, so I can then land Collective Brutality to completely empty my hand if I need to. With the Collective Brutality that I get off of the Profane Tutor that I just suspended. And my opponent has not made a turn 1 play. Their lightning bolt is gone. Drawing a Darcy. They're playing a Darcy. They're playing a Blood Crypt, which I did not know about, which means they have 3 unknowns in hand. Perhaps they're going to draw another Lightning Bolt. Interestingly enough, this Darcy will not be able to attack. How sad. I'm not going to be drawing this Thoughtseize anyway. Whatever's on top of my deck, I'm not going to be drawing unless I choose to not cast the collective, choose to not cast the Profane Tutor off of Suspend. I'm just going to grab a basic Swamp here. I don't really have to get anything else. This Pixis is quite tempting, and I very well may crack Mishra's Bauble on my upkeep. No, wait, on my opponent's end step, so that I can draw this Pixis. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. You may have a lightning bolt. Played an Arena of Glory. I don't know 2 of the cards in my opponent's hand. They're casting something with haste. Perhaps... Doesn't Detectives Phoenix already have haste? Fear of missing out. So they're going to draw a Marsh Flats here. And I do think that the Collective Brutality is in order. They discarded a Fatal Push, which is the last card in their hand. They can collect Evidence 6 here by exiling the Street Wraith in either the Bolt or the Push, but it's not actually going to help. They're going to deal 4 to me off of this Fear of Missing Out. Because they do have the Delirium. I'm just going to F0. I don't really need to worry about this. Cat is being cat. I'm sorry, did I not F0? Oh, whatever. Yes, I am going to pop Mishra's Bauble here. I'm then going to put Profane Tutor on the stack underneath Mishra's Bauble. And I'm going to draw this Pixis of Pandemonium. So like this. Very good. I will draw this card. And I will cast this Profane Tutor now. Go ahead and do that. Do I even want to grab a Collective Brutality? I'm going to be drawing up to 5. 4, 3, 2. Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab a Collective Brutality. Ooh, no. No, I'll go ahead and grab a Collective Brutality. Yeah, Forest. I don't really need the Forest. I don't need the creature. I'm ahead on cards. I will grab a Pixis here. And I will cast this. Max Escalate. Target opponent, target creature, target opponent. Going to pay like this, and I'm going to discard this. I'll discard the Catacombs and the Ensnaring Bridge. Go ahead and lightning bolt me in response. They did not lightning bolt me in response. We take those. All right. Game's over. I'm going to keep my opponent off of necrogoyfs or whatever that is. Get that F-Zero equity. Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf. That's the one. Nethergoyf. Gonna keep my opponent off of Nethergoyfs. That's Shadow, huh? Yeah, you got it. I don't really think I need this Pithing Needle. And that fear of missing out is largely irrelevant now. Witherbloom command? Sure, whatever. Yeah, let me just make sure there's nothing fancy on this. Not really. Okay. So here I can cast this, returning a land to my hand and draining my opponent. Let's go ahead and target player mills 3 cards. I don't really want to throw anything in my opponent's graveyard that I don't like, so I will go ahead and mill myself here. I'm going to return the Urza Saga. There we go. And interestingly enough, I'm actually at a higher life total than my opponent. Alright, what did I mill? I milled a Pixis. Okay. I'm gonna grab this Codex Shredder off of the top of my deck. I'm not gonna activate Pixis unless I really, really need to. Oh, they just searched their library and handed me the win. Yeah, I'll take that. So Rakdos, presumably no Goblin Lores. Just Rakdos, good stuff. How do I want to handle Rakdos, good stuff? They've got big fat creatures that are relatively low in mana value. They've got presumably some discard and some creature and some artifact removal. They do have the bestow off of Phoenixes and Nethergoyfs. Is that worth having Grafdigger's Cage? I don't know. The only relevant thing that I could Pithing Needle is Street Wraith. I don't think I really care all that much about that. I think Cling to Dust may be relevant. I'll go ahead and keep that in. Do I want Assassin's Trophy? If I'm bringing in all of these removal spells, do I really want Assassin's Trophy? Collective Brutality can still kill things, and it is additional discard if I need additional discard. I think I'll keep in the Brutalities. I could... Oh man. I could... think I'm going to side out Cling to Dust. They don't have Flages. And I will side out a Witherbloom Command. Witherbloom Command, realistically, is not going to kill any other creatures. I don't believe I'm doing any more sideboarding than this. Okay. Well, let's see if I find more of their deck and get heavily punished. This is a risky hand. This is a risky hand. This hand already starts at 15 life. All my opponent has to do is have like a... Do they keep 7? They did keep 7. This is a really risky hand, but this hand does protect and find Ensnaring Bridge. I'll keep it. And that's what the matchup is about. Is protecting and finding and protecting Ensnaring Bridge. Interesting that they chose to play the Mishra's Bauble, chose to play the fetch land before the Mishra's Bauble. They kept the card on top. That worries me. Oh, they get to draw it anyway, so... Oh, that's an Ensnaring Bridge. Now I get to do my own little scry trick, except I'm going to play my Mishra's Bauble and activate it before playing my land. That way I know which land to play first. Pithing Needle... I don't really want Pithing Needle. Let's go ahead and Inquisition. Damping Sphere? Really? What do I take here? Bone Crusher Giant is the unknown because that'll break my little thing if I put that in. I'm gonna take the Surgical. Like, this hand just doesn't do enough against me. Wonder what they scribed to top. Was it the Damping Sphere? Like, I just drew a Blood Chief's Thirst. That Polluted Delta they just drew. They're going to be able to fall to 12 life off of just stuff they have in hand. That's Damping Sphere. I don't care. I don't care about Damping Sphere. Do I even want to Thoughtseize them? Kinda just want to play this Profane Tutor, honestly. Then they can go ahead and like cast a Bone Crusher Giant or something, and then I just drop it. Like, I'm still gonna have 4 cards in hand, but dang, they just continue to play the cards that they rip off the top of their deck. Damping Sphere's gone. They got Blood Crypt now. Are they just gonna drop the Bone Crusher Giant? Wow, they're not even going to drop the Bone Crusher Giant. You know what? I know your entire hand, and I know that you can't interact with this Ensnaring Bridge. I'm just going to play the Ensnaring Bridge. You want to play Hate Rocks? I can play Hate Rocks too. In fact, my entire deck is built around Ensnaring Bridge, really. They're gonna stomp me, because that's the only thing they can do. Alright, so now the unknown card in their hand actually is an unknown. And I can cast a bunch of stuff here. Do I cast the Profane Tutor? That is a Blood Crypt and a Death Shadow, which leaves an unknown. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast the Profane Tutor. I kind of want a Lantern. I kind of want to know what my opponent is working with. I could grab an Urza Saga. I could grab an Urza Saga, actually. How does that punish me? I don't know what my opponent draws for 2 whole turns. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab the Lantern. And I think I am going to max escalate this. Oh, that's interesting. Max escalating wouldn't actually kill the Death Shadow. I think I can max escalate here. Do I need to, though? I kind of don't want to take the hit from the Death Shadow. If I'm gonna delay casting Lantern, then that's kind of the same as... You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I know that this isn't going to kill the Death Shadow. I don't really need it to. I just need it to grow bigger than what allows it to attack underneath my Ensnaring Bridge. Blood Crypt and Polluted Delta. Yeah, you got it. Alright, so Damping Sphere being just a little bit annoying. Notably, my opponent could play a Blood Moon. Detective's Phoenix is fine too. Yeah, you got it. You can hit me with a Detective's Phoenix. That's fine. Kind of wishing I'd gotten Urza Saga now. Ooh, maybe not. So I know the top card of their deck. I can play my Pixis, establish a little bit of draw control. My opponent gets to play this Mishra's Bauble. I don't really care. Yeah, you got it. You know, outside of Wrath of the Skies, artifact hate is kind of at an all-time low. Yeah, you got it. Bloodstained Mire, that's fine. Not even gonna mill. I'm perfectly comfortable drawing this Thoughtseize. I'll just Thoughtseize myself. They can play this from exile. Kind of surprising that they haven't yet. Arena of Glory is fine. Ah, there we go. Cast, kill this. I don't really need to cast Thoughtseize targeting myself. I could save it for something else, but I don't really want to lose all of that life, and I don't think I need to save it. Plus, they could, like, Arena of Glory of Bowmasters or something and deal me an extra damage, I guess. So Nethergoyf is going to be a little bit of an issue because you can shrink it, attack with it under bridge, and then like sacrifice a land or something. However, this Urza Saga is just going to solve that problem. Oh, look at that. It's another Urza Saga. I think I'm going to draw that too. Like, this guy just makes blockers. Huge blockers. Mumbo jumbo blockers. The biggest blockers you've ever seen. Or at least I've been told that. Alright. Memes aside, this game is won. It's just a matter of going through the motions. Hey, they remembered their Bone Crusher Giant. And they're Nethergoyf. Yeah, I'll go ahead and draw that Pixis too. What's the harm? Let's go ahead and make our duder now. F6. Like, they just have a ton of dead cards in their deck now. Thanks, Ensnaring Bridge. This game brought to you by Ensnaring Bridge, as so many games are. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab a Shredder here. Okay, and I have a strong enough lock. I'm just going to go ahead and start winning the game now. Yeah, I don't really care about that Nethergoyf. What did they board in? Damping Sphere, I guess, but... like, just Damping Sphere? They must have boarded in something else, right? Oh, it's another Urza Saga. You know what? I guess I'll take the Urza Saga. Like, I don't not need it. Let's see. I can grab Codex Shredder. Would be really funny if I brought in like my Terra Sunders and I just Terra Sunder my own ensnaring bridge and just swing for like, I don't know, some ridiculous number like 70 or something. Not actually convinced that would be any good, but it is funny to think about. Liliana of the Veil. Unbeatable magic card. I cannot win if my opponent resolves a Liliana of the Veil. I cannot win if my opponent resolves that Liliana of the Veil. I guess I'm just gonna have to exile it. Oopsie poopsie. Doing the thing again. Oh, I see. It hasn't gained it yet. Okay. Thought it was on chapter 3 for a second. Now I'll just continue making dudes. Nihil Spellbomb, huh? That might have been somewhat decent in a previous build. I never interact with my opponent at all, to answer your question, Alex. I don't even open chat in the slightest, for no reason. I don't really mind my opponent doing this. I play this deck because I enjoy this state of the game. I enjoy just the little... I don't know. Just being under the lock is fun for me. It doesn't really feel like playing a Magic game. Kind of feels like playing something else entirely. I do not have a Pithing Needle left in my deck. Guess I exiled them all. Nothing I can do about that now. Except for Papa Pixis. I don't really want to do that. But yeah, I don't really mind being in this state where I'm just kind of chilling or having fun or slowly exiling both of our decks, but yours is going to exile faster than mine is, just by a couple of cards. So yeah, I don't really feel like asking my opponent to concede. I know it's not fantastic content, which is why I am working very, very hard on a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff in order to make it so that I can release edited videos of these streams, because I know that this is just boring as hell to watch. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother opening chat. Like, I'm not affected by the vitriol that my opponents will dish out. I've seen all of it playing this deck in person. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm just chilling. I'm just having fun. Do I want my opponent having a Dragon's Rage Channeler? Not really. I just feel like I don't need to let them draw that, you know? Oh yeah, by the way, Alex, that's a very good mention. If you too would like to scroll through salty messages sent by Lantern opponents in Magic Online, then you can go ahead and check out the community Discord that is in the description of this video, and head to the Salty Screenshots channel where we post all that sort of stuff. You know what? Tarfire, huh? I'm not gonna let you have Tarfire, sorry. I'm not gonna let you have that either. Like, again, this just none of it matters. None of it matters. I'll go ahead and make a copy of a Pixis because I think that's going to speed up my clock by a turn. But again, like, I got 12 minutes on my clock. I'm chilling. And this draw is the last draw that my opponent will take. In fact, I don't need to let them draw the spell bomb. Oh, I hope you didn't think that you were going to draw that. You know what? You can draw Dragon's Rage Channeler. You're not going to draw another spell this game. You're not going to draw another land either. You're just not going to draw anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going out in style, maybe? I can respect that. Goodbye, Death Shadow. Goodbye, Nethergoyf. Goodbye, Mishra's Bauble. Goodbye, Street Wraith. Goodbye, Bloodstained Mire. Goodbye, Detective's Phoenix. Goodbye, Damping Sphere. Sideboard card. How does Lantern beat sideboard cards? I have no idea. Goodbye, Marsh Flats. Goodbye, Thoughtseize. And just for additional salt, goodbye, Molten Collapse. I was never beating that card. Well, yeah, my opponent had a Molten Collapse in the bottom of the deck. I guess I lose the match. All right, on to match 3. Okay, we are on the play versus G Power 1. Hello, G-Power1. I will not actually say hello because I am cringe and don't like interacting with people. But I will keep this hand against you. It's got 2 lands. It's got a natural Lantern Lock, Thoughtseize, and Ensnaring Bridge. You will be hard-pressed to find a hand that looks better than this. I guess if this Darkpour Pathway was an Urza Saga, but at that point we're just picking our 7. So, whatever. I'm very, very happy with this. Oh! Hello, sir. Are you having fun? Sir is having fun. No Jagantha revealed. I'll go ahead and lead on a Lantern of Insight. Stomping Ground. Ooh. Well, someone was mentioning in chat earlier, Alejandre, actually. Alejandre, I hope? That someone had a red-green Delirium aggro. So, Stomping Ground into Callous Sellsword. Huh. It's a fling. It's different than fling. It's different from fling. It's different from fling. This is not fling. This is not fling. I can afford to wait a little bit if it means ripping apart my opponent's hand. So this is 2, that brings it to base toughness 6-4. Wow. They literally just used this for Burn Together. You know, I'm just gonna rip up my opponent's hand here. I'm gonna take the Scale Up, and I'm also gonna Thoughtseize them again, and I'm gonna take the Monstrous Rage, leaving them with 4 lands and this Callous Sellsword. Verdant Catacombs as the land for turn. They had the thing there that was the basically the fling. I think I'll go ahead and take the fling. All right. So I am at, I have 1. I don't really want this Codex Shredder on top of my deck. I do, however, want a 3rd land. So I'll play this Pixis. I'm probably going to tap this to exile something. Verdant Catacombs is gone. Stomping Ground, probably not something my opponent wants to keep. Vines of Vastwood is probably the worst case for me outside of Scale Up. Go ahead and exile that. Yeah, that's fine. Overgrown Tomb, you may have. Okay, Pendelhaven, gone. I think next turn I'm going to Needle Pendelhaven and then play this Codex Shredder. I'm not gonna mill the Pithing Needle. And yes, I know I could probably name Inkmoth Nexus here. I'm not going to. Dr. Fostrol for Alex Forbes in chat. Dr. Fostrol in the Discord. Now here's an interesting conundrum. This will, if my opponent draws this, then what will this do? I will take 7. I will go up to 7 and then up to 9. That's better than a Scale Up. Just need my 3rd land. Like, what are the chances that my opponent has two absolutely, like, must-answer cards under this? I don't think they're that high. And I could take a little pressure off of myself. Just exiling. Okay, we're good. We're perfectly fine. We are perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't really care about anything anymore. Just go ahead and fetch that swamp. I'll fetch a forest. Doesn't really matter that much. And Ensnaring Bridge is my last card in hand. Lol, none of your creatures can attack anymore. Cacophony Scamp. And this was another easy win. I really doubt that my opponent will be able to recover from this. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and begin sideboarding. Obviously the Bloodchief's Thirst are coming in. Just super obvious those things are coming in. I think I may also bring in the Flaying Tendrils. Maybe even the Assassin's Trophy. Maybe. Things that are coming out. Cling to Dust, coming out. Pithing Needle, 2 of those, coming out. Grafdigger's Cage, coming out. Now the real question is if I want to go super aggro and take these 3 Mishra's Baubles and turn them into these, or if I want to go a little bit chill to start out with and just bring in the 4 Bloodchief's Thirst and keep my consistency super high. I'm not playing against Boros. I think that Flaying Tendrils is a bit expensive. I'll go ahead and keep the Mishra's Baubles in. Like, Ensnaring Bridge just shuts down their decks so hard. All I have to do is keep them off of the fling effect. Yeah, see? Just keep this. Oh. Basic Swap and Ancient Stirrings is a Wombo non-bow. But do I really get rid of this? I need a 3rd land anyway, and there's a decent chance that that 3rd land can cast Ancient Stirrings. Whoa! Leyline of Resonance. Maybe I will just die, you know? Maybe I'll just die. Did we ever consider this? Yeah, I'm probably just gonna die here. They have a Scale Up that's gonna do nothing, actually. Scale Up won't do anything. Yeah, all of a sudden my hand is looking mighty clunky. I probably should have mulliganed this. Ooh, that's a Bloodchief's Thirst. Tainted Strike. Haven't seen that card in a decent chunk of time. Is my opponent on 1 land? Interesting. Well, they see the Bloodchief's Thirst on top of my deck. That was the wrong land to play. That was just very obviously the wrong land to play. I think my opponent's on 1 land. Well, if they're gonna keep just holding up protection for this Cacophony Scamp, then I'm gonna just keep making them hold up protection for this Cacophony Scamp. Like, I can just go ahead and mill this, the Seiju here. Yeah, you can't cast that if you want to protect your Cacophony Scamp. They have some sort of protection in hand. And here, I'm just going to kill both of those creatures. I don't need to do anything different. Yeah, I don't need to do anything different. Let's just go ahead and kill both of their creatures. I'm not even gonna cast the Profane Tutor. Yeah, I'm not gonna cast the Profane Tutor. Let's go ahead and kill this. Sure. And let's go ahead and kill this. Okay. Listener Elf. Again. Played again. I can just empty my hand here. I don't even know what they have in hand. I saw the 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘. They don't have the 𝗟𝗓𝗩 in hand. I think I'm just gonna grab a Pixis. Yeah, and I win the match. Okay, sure. On to the next match. All right, and we are playing round 4 versus 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘. Hello, 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘. I will not keep this hand against you. I'm sorry. I might keep this. I'm gonna keep this. It's pretty clunky. I'm gonna bottom the second Profane Tutor. I would not fault anyone for mulliganing that hand. Ooh. Fog, huh? That doesn't bode well for me. That doesn't bode well for me in the slightest, actually. Gonna go ahead and fetch an Overgrown Tomb, shock it in. I'm really desperately digging for a land here. That is a Blooming Marsh, I'll take it. I'm not going to Mishra's Bauble yet. not even entirely convinced that I want to... Yeah, this is definitely Black Necro. This has got to be Necro, right? I'm not even entirely convinced that I want to pop this Mishra's Bauble. Like, I don't know. Ooh. Go ahead and Thoughtseize them. They probably kept like 4 Necros or something. This is very much telegraph. Oh, green, huh? This is very much telegraphed like a Orcish Bowmasters. Yep. Yeah, now I'm pretty sure I don't even want to bother with cracking the Mishra's Bauble. Oh. Well, my hand's definitely too clunky for this. So Flare of Malice is going to be completely irrelevant. But the double Marionette Apprentice is kind of annoying. I don't really have an easy answer for this Warren Soul Trader right now. And I kind of don't want to deal with it. But these Marionette Apprentices represent quite a bit of damage. I think I'm just going to take the Soul Trader. Yeah, my hand is just a bit too clunky for this. They do have these cards. They played the Swamp. I took the Soul Trader. They just played the Marionette Apprentice. And now I'm all of a sudden on a decent clock. My opponent has 1 unknown card in hand. I'm gonna take a decent chunk of damage here, actually. I did need to dodge that. So now I need to keep my opponent off of ways to kill their creatures. Flare of Malice is... Oh. Yeah, I'm just dead. There's not much I can do here. Jeez, man. Yeah, that was the unknown. That's gone, that's gone. Oh, I'm just dead now. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Okay, so we have our first game loss of the league, which, you know... Oh, game loss. So this is definitely black-green Marionette. I want in all these cards, plus all these cards. I'm willing to take out my Cling to Dust. None of my Pithy Needles come out. Witherbloom Apprentice, does that come out? Marionette Apprentice is a 1/2, unfortunately. So Witherbloom Command doesn't actually kill it. Yeah, I think I'll take Witherbloom Command out. What else can come out? I need 4 more cuts. I could bring in Assassin's Trophy and side out my Consistency package. I'm going to screenshot this and I'm going to try it and I'm going to see if it works. Yeah, I'll be on the play. I will keep this, actually. This is a decent hand. No discard. And no lantern. But it's got part of the lock, and it's got the ensnaring bridge, and it's got the pithing needle specifically, which is really important. So I will keep it for that. I need to play out this Verdant Catacombs anyway at some point. May as well play it out now. Go ahead and grab basic swamp, play a Pixis. I don't need to F5. F6. I don't need to F6. I can F0 here. Soul Trader, Swamp, Unearth. Go ahead and Blind Exile. Why not? Another Verdant Catacombs. Do I Blind Needle? I think I kind of Blind Needle here. Oh, I exiled my basic forest, really? Alright, sure. And I will Blind Needle on... Not Boseiju, actually. I'm not going to Blind Needle Boseiju. I will Blind Needle Warren Soul Trader, because that's what's going to kill me. I don't have very high hopes in this hand, though. It was definitely on the weaker side, I think. Oh, Birthing Ritual. I'm glad I kept in the Grafdigger's Cage. Look at the top 7. Yeah, no extirpate. Maybe I should have brought in the extirpates. And probably mulliganed. I just saw the ensnaring bridge and I'm just like, I want to keep this. But my opponent looks like they're doing something completely different. They did not use the Birthing Ritual. They... Bottom of the library in a random order. I'm not gonna Blind Exile Pixis. Another Pithing Needle? I'm gonna drop the bridge. That Birthing Ritual, man, that's some insane stuff right there. Boggart Bog. Swinging for 1. 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Oh, that's fine. They just get to look at the cards before choosing what to sacrifice. I just think that's insane. That's ridiculously strong. That's a Marionette Apprentice right there. Yeah, they're taking my stuff now. Just insanely strong stuff. Urza Saga, I'll take it. And I will take the Pithing Needle on Boseiju, who shelters all, who endures. Boseiju who endures. This has gotta go. It's just gotta go. It's just straight up gotta go. Or I need a Grafdigger's Cage. With this Saga, might actually just find. Insanely strong stuff here. Yeah, all they have to do is hit a Reclamation Sage off of any of these Birthing Ritual triggers, and I'm just in the dirt. So I need to fade this trigger. I faded this trigger. And I need to fade the next trigger. Oh, this is interesting. I could just drop the bridge, which I think I will do. Yeah, Flaying Tendrils is pretty good here. Unfortunately, my opponent did take my green source, so if I top deck a if I top deck an Ancient Stirrings, then I'm not going to be able to play it and find Flaying Tendrils immediately. Yeah. Very glad that I dropped the bridge. Oh, they shot their own servo. That's smart. Opponent is running out of cards in hand. It's this guy. Now they just get to see more cards off Birthing Ritual again. They sacrifice something? It's a Reclamation Sage? They're destroying my Urza Saga. Oh, that hurts. Ooh, that hurts a lot. Yeah. I don't think I'm winning this. I don't think I'm winning this. Yeah, now they're just sacrificing creatures. Like, the Birthing Ritual has to go. I really just need a Flaying Tendrils here. I need a Flaying Tendrils very, very badly. Watch this. I'm going to find 2 Flaying Tendrils off. Oh! Fulminator Mage. Who would have guessed? I'm going to grab the Dark War Pathway. I'm going to play it on the green side. Ooh, that's painful. I can't keep the Flaying Tendrils in hand. I'm just going to die to all this stuff. I needed to just get extraordinarily, extremely lucky. I have a 1 out of 43 chance, essentially. Or I need to kill this Birthing Ritual. But they still have ways to kill their own creatures with this Chatterfang. Ah. Yep. That's not it. All right, well, we have our first match loss. Dang. Dang. I don't think that I kept the right hand in the second game. I think that was it. I would have liked to see what this would have looked like if I had kept a slightly different hand, but my opponent just burned me out from a really high life total with this engine that they've got going on, and I just wasn't able to disrupt it. If they hadn't used the Fulminator Mage to kill my Blooming Marsh or whatever it was so very long ago, then I would have been able to Stirrings into a Flaying Tendrils and buy myself a little bit of time. But oh well, them's the beats. On to the final match. Okay, we are on round 5 versus LFC. Hello, LFC. I would like to play against you. I would like to keep a decent 7. This is a decent 7. I'll keep it. No discard, unfortunately, but my opponent has revealed a 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘. Which is not fantastic news. Yep, that's a lightning bolt. We are not in for a fun time. We are in for a rough time. You got it. You got a, Do I want this Profane Tutor? Not right now. I think I'll get the Pig's Eye out right now. Although, if I had played the Profane Tutor, then I could have tutored up a land and then used it to play an Ensnaring Bridge if I didn't draw lands. They have an Amped Raptor in hand, which they're probably going to play right now. Played into an Ocelot Pride and revealed an Ether Hub. I'll go ahead and Blind Exile, I guess. Let's go ahead and play this on the black side, drop an Ensnaring Bridge. Probably could have played a token here, but whatever. They can keep this Static Prison around for a little bit. Actually, yeah, I'm not convinced that it's correct to, Blood Moon, huh? You know what? You want to cast that Blood Moon? Yeah. They want to cast the Blood Moon. Wow, and I'm just getting jerked all sorts of ways right now. Oh man, yeah, getting your ass spanked by Boros Energy this quickly, huh? No, that's game. I'm not gonna play this out. Okay. So yeah, just kept a little bit too slow of a hand, a little bit too clunky of a hand versus the fastest deck. And it wasn't good enough. So let's go ahead and start our sideboard plan. Oh, what is our sideboard plan? It is bringing in these 6 cards, siding out 1 Thoughtseize, and then my consistency package. As we could see in that game, my consistency package wasn't fast enough. Keeping in the Witherbloom command and the Cling to Dust, notably. Yeah, let's try it. Thoroughly spanked. That was really fast. Yes, I would like to be on the play. Let's keep a hand that has some interaction this time, yeah? This has interaction. Mulliganing to 6. I'm going to turn 1 Thoughtseize. I just need to punch a hole in their plan immediately. Orem's Chant, huh? Pretty sure I can handle these now. Yeah, I can handle these now. I'll take the Blood Moon. And my opponent's going to get 1 super secret unknown draw. It's a Lantern on top of my deck. I could take my opponent off of threats. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, I'll take my opponent off of threats. The Windswept Heath out of my opponent's hand. That's an Ajani out of my opponent's hand. And this Urza Saga isn't actually going to grab a creature. It's not going to make a creature. Wow, they milled the Ocelot Pride for me. Yeah, you got it. Orem's Chant, sure. Ether Hub is down. Jegantha to hand. I am gonna eventually need to find an answer to that Jegantha. Either a green source for this Assassin's Trophy, another Urza Saga, or perhaps an Ensnaring Bridge or something like that. Or a Thoughtseize even would work. But here, I'm just gonna grab a Codex Shredder. And that does it. And now I'm just gonna keep my opponent off of threats. Sacred Foundry. Static Prison doesn't really do much to my board now. Yeah, I'm just gonna take them off that Ragavan. Okay. go ahead and shock this in. Yeah, sorry, opponent. You kept a hand that was too slow. Arid Mesa. That's an Ether Hub. Are they going to attack out for Big Daddy Jegs here? Looks like it. You're going to give it haste. I don't need to mess around. Don't think I want this Pithing Needle. I'll go ahead and take this Inquisition, though, and I will use it to remove my opponent's Static Prison. Alright, and this is a very strange game against Boros Energy, but it works. It works. Yeah, you can surveil. You may not draw an Amped Raptor. You can draw a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is fine. I'll go ahead and draw this Verdant Catacombs. And my opponent might just Orms Chant me to keep me off of playing this Pixis. Yeah, you got it. Arid Mesa is out. They have double Orms Chant in hand. Don't really want you drawing that One Ring. You can draw the Mountain. Orms Chant? No Orms Chant. Yeah, let's go. I don't want the Slaying Tendrils. And now I just have an extraordinarily strong lock. And this is a little known way that Lantern can win. Lantern does not need Ensnaring Bridge. And I'm going to keep the Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck now that it's there, but, you know. Am I? Yeah, sure. I'll keep it in my hand. You got it. I wasn't planning on casting that Ensnaring Bridge this turn anyway. Are you gonna fetch? No? Exile. Yes! I definitely love it when people do that. Alright, let's see what's underneath that Sacred Foundry. Yeah, I'll go ahead and exile that Flage. I don't really need to play against that right now. And you know what? You can draw the Static Prison. Static Prison is fine. I will go ahead and mill you. And I'll exile for both of us. Are you going to Orms Chant me? Sure. I don't really care. Do I even care about this Blood Moon? I mean, I care a little bit, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, and my opponent has... Oh, I probably shouldn't have played that land, in case I find an Urza Saga or something. I'm going to take a Dark Boar Pathway. I do not need to show that Flaying Tendrils again. Static Prison can come down. Like, I got an ensnaring bridge on like turn 10 or something. I'll go ahead and mill you. Yeah, sure. Fortunately, this game is going lightning fast now. There we go. Almost done winning. Yeah, my opponent just didn't respect my lock enough. They kept saving that static prison for an ensnaring bridge that just never needed to come down. Don't even really care about their hand anymore. Wow, they have 6 cards in their hand. I haven't really been actively keeping track of what my opponent has drawn. I've just been keeping track of each of their draws and making sure that they're okay for them to have. You know what? You can have a Blood Moon. I'll go ahead and Thoughtseize you. Got a lightning bolt or 2 in there. Take the static prison, I guess. That lightning bolt is the last card they will draw. That Blood Moon, I mean. No. Yeah, I don't even need to exile the Flage. Alright, and that is game 2. Now I just need to win game 3 on the draw. Possible. Difficult. Very difficult. I wonder if my opponent is kind of questioning their sideboarding choices. Honestly, Orym's Chant is probably better against me than they're giving it credit for. It really just did stone cold nothing in that game, but I could really see how an Orym's Chant on a critical turn where I really need to deploy an Ensnaring Bridge or a Flaying Tendrils could really just slam the door on a game where they're already ahead. But I wonder if they're questioning that now. I wonder if they're questioning their Blood Moons. What did we see? We saw Ragavans, we saw Flages, we saw Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls, Amped Raptors, Ajani's, Static Prisons, no Goblin Bombardment. Did we see the One Ring? I think I saw a copy or 2 of the One Ring. Still keeping in all my needles, even if they're not as useful as against other versions. Oh, that's a win. I need to mark that as such. I can get my basics underneath me. I can kill a an Ocelot Pride on turn 2. I can even kill a Guide of Souls. That's an Ancient Stirrings, which I don't necessarily necessarily need. But I think I will fire it off. Yeah, but what about ensnaring bridge number 3? I think I'm gonna diversify my answers a little bit. Yeah, that collective brutality is getting firmly pointed at that Ajani. And I think because of the risk of Blood Moon, I am just going to fetch a swamp here. I'm gonna cast this. Give target creature -2. Probably revealing my opponent's hand, maybe discarding, honestly, an ensnaring bridge. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Discarding an ensnaring bridge. Wow. Ghost vacuum, huh? Wow. What on God's green earth made them think that putting in... Oh, dang it. Give me a second. Keep forgetting that I don't have Duskmourn stuff in here. Let's go ahead and do that. And that. And that. Alright, and I need to rebuild the whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that over the next few turns. We have an 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗘. The Ghost Vacuum is the one that's quote-unquote unknown. What else did they have in their hand? The Guide of Souls and a Flage. Ah, right. Okay. So let's go ahead and just F6 here. Sorry. Let my opponent do their thing. So one of those is a Ghost Vacuum, Guide of Souls, Flage, 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗘. Uh-oh. They're making a thing too big. They made one of their Guide of Souls too big. They played a Guide of Souls and a Ghost Vacuum. Honestly, I could play the Blooming Marsh now, and then I could play Blooming Marsh, Flaying Tendrils now, and then next turn I could just Blooming Marsh and Snaring Bridge now. Take a little bit of a risk against them drawing exactly what? Blood Moon into another land? I'm playing the Blooming Marsh for sure. Just feel like next turn they're probably going to drop in a Ajani. But this Flaying Tendrils will slow them down quite a bit. I think I'll play the Flaying Tendrils. I don't think I'm going to get greedy. Sure. Yeah, I'm probably going to needle that at some point. Ocelot Pride. That's an engine right there. Okay, so Lantern of Insight off of Basic Forest. That is an Amped Raptor. Go ahead and play my Urza Saga now and drop my Ensnaring Bridge, which will prevent the Guide of Souls from attacking. That's fine. I don't care about that. So go ahead and play the Amped Raptor into the Ajani. I don't really care about that. Yep, they got it. Just gonna F6 through this turn. Thing I do care about is what their unknown card in hand is. So I'm gonna fall to 6. Alright, so I can dump my hand this turn. And I think it starts with Inquisition, actually. The One Ring. Alright. I think the One Ring is a later problem. So I'm gonna need needles for, in order, probably, Ajani, the One Ring, Ghost Vacuum. I'm gonna take the Flage. Grab a Lantern here. Do that. And do that. And I'm gonna play it on Nakatl Avenger. And I'm kind of running out of time, honestly. My clock is running really low. I've kind of had a couple of problems that I've needed to fix. So Flage is gone. Lightning Bolt is there. And there's a decent chance that I just keep them off lands for the rest of the game. Oh, wait, no, I'm on my 3rd game. I forgot, this isn't game 1. I have time. Okay. My favorite Ensnaring Bridge art, I will answer that in a little bit. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm kind of in the middle of trying to win this game. This game seems promising. I did say that my second target was going to be the One Ring with this Pithing Needle, and I think that that's probably still true. Let's go ahead and play this Ancient Stirrings. I have enough mana to cast this Ensnaring Bridge, so I'll take it. All right. You got it. Lightning Bolt. This Unknown in hand, I kind of forgot what that was, honestly. I forgot what that was. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. There's the 𝗟𝗓𝗓. I've already got that needled. Pixis on top. Yeah, just gonna F6 here. I genuinely took a look at my clock of 7 minutes and I thought that I would have to just win like an entire match just with that time. I completely forgot that I'm on game 3. Guide of Souls. Yeah, I'm not really at the point to where I can just kind of exile. Oh, the unknown is the One Ring. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm not really at the point to where I can just kind of willy-nilly exile a dead card on top of my opponent's deck. So I am going to draw this Blooming Marsh. And Cling to Dust is fine. Arena of Glory. Notably, at some point, my opponent will be able to create a copy of all of these things. So they've got an 𝗟𝗓𝗓, a Flage, and another 𝗟𝗓𝗓 under here. Like, Thing is just gonna cantrip here, I think. And they played their Ocelot Pride. I'm just gonna yield to all these triggers. Like, I don't care about these. I'm gonna yield to those two. Yeah, everything looks good. Probably just gonna... Oh, I can't cantrip this Cling to Dust, because my opponent is just going to exile whatever I hit in response with the Ghost Vacuum. So I guess that's fine. Sacred Foundry. Yeah, like that Static Prison has got to go. Just casually at 54 life. The One Ring is finally down. And they exile the Cling to Dust, which is probably correct. Let's go ahead and take that Static Prison. Ragavan is fine. And I do just need to be aware of my opponent drawing up to 6 lands. I do not want to draw this Thoughtseize. So I'm not going to. Another Ghost Vacuum. I think I'm fine with that. Triggers are taking such a long time. Yeah, I'm gonna kill one of these Ocelot Prides, I think. Cast, kill that. F6. And I think that now that I have this Codex Shredder on top of my deck, I think I'm fine with my opponent drawing this Ghost Vacuum and then me just needling it. Yeah, Blood Moon's a little bit late. I'm actually completely fine with them drawing Blood Moon. Okay, now I have just under 5 minutes to mill just under 40 cards, which is fine. Let's go ahead and grab a pithing needle on Ghost Vacuum, which I did not think I would be doing, but I am doing it. And I'm going to set a stop on my opponent's draw step so that I can F6 through the rest of their turn and auto yield to that. Yeah. Okay. So, yep, this game's wrapped up. You may draw the One Ring. I will save targets here. Mill you. Exile that Flage. Exile that Flage. All right. I'll go ahead and exile that Flage too. Yep, that's fine. Auto yield to that. Arena of Glory is fine. Let's go ahead and take that Lightning Bolt. Take that Amped Raptor, target player. Okay. And they have a Blood Moon in hand, so they can try and take me off this Flaying Tendrils if they are feeling clever. They were not feeling clever. So I think I'm gonna draw this, right? I'm just gonna cast it. Wipe their board. Oh, that looks so great. All right. And in fact, I don't need them to draw that Ocelot Pride, so yeah. Yeah, Screaming Nemesis. Sure. Let's go ahead and have you mill a card. That's fine. Do I even care about Static Prison? Yeah, I do, because there's a bunch of stuff that I care about. Yeah, because this will just kill me, and that will kill me, and all that will kill me. Yeah, Gigantha into hand, sure. And I will draw this Urza Saga and play it. Let's go ahead and mill the opponent. Yeah, Blood Moon's fine. I really want to draw that Codex Shredder, so I'm going to draw it. Okay, almost done. And let's go ahead and do our exiling now. Save targets on this, please. Another Blood Moon, that's fine. This game is in the bag, I just need to focus. promise I will read chat and check questions and all of that in a second. I'm just trying to win with 48 seconds on the clock. Just give me a minute. All right, here we go. Almost done. All right. So my opponent has basically one option at this point. I got 7 seconds on my clock and they have 13 minutes. They could hold priority for any amount of random time between 0 seconds and 13 minutes. And make me respond with an F6 in a 7-second window. Yeah, the lag on my client gives me a ton of anxiety too. So I'm gonna take some questions now while staring at this timer. I don't have a favorite ensnaring bridge art. My preferred playstyle for making my cards is to have a wide variety of arts in my deck. And I also prefer to, yeah, I'm F6'd right now. I'm F6'd. I have my opponent's, all stops on my opponent's turn turned off. And I have auto-yielded to the One Ring trigger. So I'm just straight up F6'd right now. My preferred playstyle is, for my arts, for my cards, is to white border them. I have... Yes, antifreeze, the correct line for my opponent here is to take a piss, maybe take out the garbage, perhaps get themselves a nice, cool, crisp glass of water, and just make me sit here with my finger on the F6 key. Yield. I see yield until my opponent's end step. I see yield until next end step, but not yield until opponent's end step. I'm F6'd anyway. If I... Here we go. I'm F6'd. I dare you. Pass priority. I dare you. Oh, I already have my opponent's upkeep skipped. Oh, like I can like click here or something to yield to my opponent's end step? Here we go. All right. Ooh. That what is a deserved, exceptionally deserved match win versus Boros Energy. Yes, that was the Moto equivalent of salty roping. Unfortunately for my opponent, it did not win them the match. I know how to set my stops. I know how to use F6 and F0 equity. And apparently I don't know how to not get a glass of milk before the match and cost myself like 20 seconds. So, whatever. But yeah, I like whitebordering my cards. I like having different versions of all of the artworks for my cards. And I like ugly artworks. So 8th edition Ensnaring Bridge or 7th, actually 8th edition or 7th edition Ensnaring Bridges. Very beautiful in my opinion. I want to find a way to whiteborder a Bridge of Khazad Dûm and put that in my deck. And of course I will be buying a Mystery Booster 2 version of the Ensnaring Bridge and whitebordering that and putting it in my deck. A 4-1. My second 4-1 in a row, actually. With one unfortunate keep in round 4. Perhaps I could have made this a 5-0. But you know what? I will take the 4-1. 4-1s are fantastic. That's good. The deck is good. The deck is good. The pilot is lacking. I need to get better. The deck can handle anything that's thrown at it. That's kind of the nature of the Lantern Lock. It's just so exceptionally hard to play. I have been playing this deck since before Splinter Twin was banned. I was there. I saw the ancient magics being written. Splinter Twin was banned in Modern. It was legal in Modern at one point. And I was playing Lantern when Splinter Twin was banned. That's how long I've been playing this deck, and I'm still not good at it. I'm still not good at it. I need to practice. Maple, I think that is probably the correct way to do it. Don't clean the Ensnaring Bridge. Just leave all the dirt and grime on it. In fact, leave the dirt and grime on it. And then put it into a nice little penny sleeve and then heat seal the penny sleeve. That way you get to preserve all of that nasty grime. Yeah. Yeah. This deck has been around for a really freaking long time. Stupidly long time, I think. But, yeah, if any one of you are interested in trying the deck out for yourself, here. Give me a second. Probably should show this to you again. So this is the exact 75 that I've been playing for a couple of weeks now, maybe 3 weeks. And I just 4-1'd with it. So I don't think it's all that bad. 4-1'd with it today and 4-1'd with it like a couple of days ago. I think the deck's good. I just think it's good. I think that if you are losing with the deck, then I think that it is a skill issue. As it is a skill issue with me when I lost round 4 and I could have kept a different hand and I chose not to. I mean, this thing can just handle a lot of stuff that's thrown at it. I think that if you want to try it out, I would recommend this 75. Maybe you could replace this Cling to Dust and Witherbloom command with something a little bit more stock. I don't know, like another Assassin's Trophy, maybe the 4th Mishra's Bauble. But on the whole, I like this list. I like this list a lot. I am going to make an attempt to play in next week's challenge on Tuesday. If I'm able to make it, then fantastic. If not, then oh well. If you want to try this deck out for yourself, the link to this page right here is in the description of this VOD stream, whatever. I have a link to 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘's channel. You see 𝗟𝗜𝗃 chatting in chat. Hello, 𝗟𝗜𝗃. You have a YouTube channel too. Go subscribe to 𝗟𝗜𝗃's channel. Watch his videos. I basically focus almost exclusively on traditional Lantern control, black-green. This is what I've been playing for 10 years. This is what I'm comfortable with. But 𝗟𝗜𝗃 has been experimenting with a lot of different versions. There is a Blood Moon version by 𝗟𝗃𝗃. You saw how badly Blood Moon screwed me over in game 1 of round 5. Imagine playing Blood Moon in this deck. 𝗟𝗃𝗃 invented the deck. 𝗟𝗃𝗃 played it. Go ahead and watch that video if you're interested. There's also blue versions that play Whir. There's white versions that play Prismatic Ending. And all sorts of fancy stuff. Oh, what else? There's also a link to the community Discord. Lantern is a community deck. It was invented by a random guy who got drunk on the MTG Salvation forums and said, but what if we just make your opponent flood out for the rest of the game, lol. And the community just kind of took over it from there. So if you're interested in seeing what we do with it, seeing the sort of tech that we make, it's free to join. There's no paywalls or anything for anything like that. Just go ahead and pop in, say hi to me, say hi to all the other folks that are working on the deck, and I don't know, maybe give it a try for yourself. Thank you to all 92 of you that tuned in at some point or another, even if you only saw it for a couple of seconds, said, wow, this deck has just dies to everything. It dies to Flage, it dies to, I don't know, what's another unbeatable card? Help me out, what's another unbeatable card? 𝗟𝗑𝗓. 𝗟𝗓𝗓 is an unbeatable card. Just dies to 𝗟𝗓𝗓. And then just clicked off. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And to the community pillars that have stuck around, thank you for helping me out with getting to this point. Yeah, I will see you later on to play in a challenge, I hope. Wrath of the Skies is an unbeatable Magic card.